When you work in Singapore, you are working in an international hub. So our regional global office is always there. So usually you get a chance to go to Hong Kong, you get a chance to go to everywhere else in the world. That is like the door to go other places. When I talk to many of my Singaporean friends also, I notice is one thing, it is more stressful. You are forced to be hardworking even if you don't want to be hardworking. You work-life balance a little bit, someone else is going to take over you. Your identity is hang upon your achievement.
If let's say they don't have this achievement, I'm nothing.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Mr. Money TV, and this is Mr. Money Peter.
And this is Listen.
Alright, listen, so today we want to talk about Singapore.
Yes.
Yeah? And specifically, should you work in Malaysia or Singapore? And now, I want to start with saying, we are not going to tell you which country is better to work in because I think that's personal preference.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the whole goal of this episode is to help our audience to understand better what are the factors that they want to consider so that at the end of the day, when they make the decision, they make the best decision for themselves.
Exactly.
Right? And I want to start with this question because I've heard that you got a scholarship to go to Singapore and study, but you rejected it. Now, I'm very curious. Because for most people, this is a great opportunity. You get to earn 3 times the salary and it's a scholarship, right?
Yes.
So why do you reject it?
Yeah, I know everyone gonna comment like, oh no, Listen is so stupid, why you reject it? But I have my own reason. But my major reason at that time was because I was very scared that I cannot keep up with the CGPA. Yeah. So scholarship, to maintain it, you need to hit a certain CGPA every semester.
Right.
So I was very scared that I couldn't perform consistently. Yeah. And if let's say I really couldn't reach that CGPA that they want, then I might need to pay back the scholarship.
Oh, so the scholarship comes with a term where if you don't hit the numbers, you need to pay back the amount.
Yes, but I don't know what's the amount, but it was actually really, I would say quite high.
Everything is times 3, right? Of course, higher.
And also, in fact, right, at first I was thinking, oh, maybe can I accept the offer letter? Can I sign first? Then if let's say at the end I really don't want to go, then I just say no lah. But I'm not allowed to do that.
Oh.
The moment you sign the offer letter, if you reject after that, you need to pay about 10% of that tuition fee. And if they count international student rate, and that's very high.
Wow, Singapore really pressure tactic, man.
Yeah,
this one come from Singapore government or a specific uni? And which uni were you offered this scholarship?
I forgot what scholarship it is, but the university that I got is actually Nanyang Technology University, NTU.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was offered the biological science course.
What is? It's one of the top uni in Singapore, right?
So it's like, if you got it, then actually in my school, I think me and another student, there's only 2 of us actually got the full scholarship.
Wow.
Yeah. And I have the balls to say no. And my friend actually went. Yeah, she did economy there.
And how's she doing?
Yeah, I think she's doing well, but I'm not sure where is she right now because I didn't talk to her for some time.
Right.
Yeah, but she has to come back during COVID because this scholarship, actually, you are required to bond with Singapore government for 4 years. So you are required to work in Singapore for 4 years. But by the time she completed her degree, it was COVID.
Oh.
So 2020, she will require to come back to Malaysia. But she is required to work in Singapore at the same time. So she was like struggling to know where to go and what she need to do.
In the end now, is she working in Singapore or Malaysia?
Oh, this one I'm not really sure. I didn't contact her for so long.
Right, maybe you should call her and ask her.
Yeah, maybe I should text her later.
Then see how you feel after that.
I'm doing well here. I'm happily here.
Okay, just for everyone to know, she's a postgraduate. Graduate. Soon, right? So soon we have to call Dr. Lee. Yeah, so of course she is not some not very smart people, right? Yeah, there's a certain level of intelligence there. Now, listen, can you also walk us through, other than the fact that you were worried that you didn't make it and you need to pay back the scholarship, what other factors that you were considering when you make this decision?
At that time when I got the scholarship, I was only 20 years old. So I was actually very, very young. And besides money, what comes to my mind is like, am I actually ready to go Singapore?
Okay.
When I say ready, right? Because besides studying there for 4 years, I'm required to stay there for another 4 years after graduating.
Right.
So basically it's like 8 years I have to stay in Singapore.
Yeah.
So things that come to my mind is like, am I ready to stay in Singapore alone for the next 8 years? And it's not 4 years, no, it's 8 years. Yes, you might say like, oh, I can come back during the holidays, but is it that easy? I'm not really sure because we all know Singapore, when you work in Singapore, it's pretty stressful.
Yeah, there's no holiday one. Chinese New Year, 2 days. That's all.
Yeah.
Strictly 2 days.
Yeah, so I was very scared at that time and then my mom is here. My family is all here, right? So my brother at that time was not in KL as well. He's in Penang, studying in Penang. And I have a younger sister. So I feel like I'm not ready also because I don't think I'm ready to leave everything behind and just go to Singapore to chase my dream.
Right.
Yeah. And that's one reason, like, these are the things that I wouldn't say hold me back, but things that I was considering, I would say, when I was making this decision.
Okay.
But at the same time, one reason why I decided, it is okay to reject, also because I think I was very confident to myself at the time.
Oh.
Yeah, because I believe I can get a spot in public uni. At that time, because my course is not that famous.
Right. You remind me of my interview with Catherine, right? So Catherine Goh, the Santan CEO, she said this that time when she decided not to stay in the US because she couldn't get, I think she got medical that time, but she haven't get her scholarship settled, and the sister couldn't help her with the initial things and so on. She decided to come back to Malaysia, and then the lecturer told her to wait for a while. We'll try to apply scholarship. And then she said the reason why she didn't take that is because she told herself this: if I am a diamond, I'm gonna shine anywhere. Yeah, so it doesn't matter whether I'm in America or whatever, I'm still going to do well. And of course, today she's doing quite well, right? Yeah, famous as well. Now, that's a good confidence there. Now, nonetheless, before I ask you the next question,
okay,
you do know that if you completed your studies there, you will be easily earning about 4 to 5K Sing dollar a month as a fresh graduate.
Yes.
Right? And if you're an NTU grad, and if you get the right career, you may end up getting about 6K a month Sing dollar.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. So now that you know the facts, even by lowest also you're looking at 4K plus. Yeah. Do you regret?
Well, the salary is definitely higher than mine right now.
Of course. For me, if I go there also, it's going to be like 3 times of whatever I have right now, right? Because it's dollar.
Yeah,
it's always dollar to dollar.
True.
Yeah. You earn 4,000 here, you're going to earn about 4,000 there, but in Sing dollar.
I think I'm a little bit crazy to say this, but I think, Peter, you also know I'm the kind of person who work for calling and not work for money. Yeah.
So just to share with you all a little bit, that is true. That's why she's here. Yeah. How she ended up working for us is one day I got a LinkedIn anyway, just to share with you guys, right? And then she, of course, as a postgrad, as a doctor, she could have worked in the MNC anytime. Yeah, and especially in the CSR kind of field, right? Yeah, I think Dr. Reynard Sai will more than happy to interview you, right? Yeah. So, okay, anyway, that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
Now, I guess here the point that we're going to bring up here is salary and also calling or whatever other things. So let's first start by talking about money, because Mr. Money as a channel is finance, right? I think first thing first, we all know that when you work in Singapore, it's 3 times.
Yes.
Especially if you're a degree holder and if you graduate in Singapore, chances are you're going to get about 4K, 3K plus 4K. Yeah, even lowest also 3K plus. That's the kind of number that you'll be looking at. And people will be asking the next question generally is, how does it go? As a Malaysian, you don't really, from what I've seen so far, as a Malaysian, your career progression could be a little bit slower because they have to prioritize Singaporean. But usually in your case, if your result is good, after about 6-7 years, they will ask you to apply for citizenship.
Oh.
Yes. So they will convert you into Singaporean.
Is it still happening now?
Yeah, it's very common.
But I thought it's way harder to get PR and citizenship in Singapore right now.
Let me tell you one truth in life. Do you know Singaporeans are not getting babies? Many Singaporeans are not giving birth, So let me ask you, how does the government replenish human being there?
I see. So by having more foreigners?
And Malaysian is the best because we and Singaporeans are almost identical.
I thought you were going to say because Malaysia want to have babies, so we want them to become Singaporean.
No, we are almost identical. This one is a whole different topic, but everywhere in the world, the biggest problem is when people don't give birth. Then the social system will always collapse because there's no new workforce and so on, right? That's a whole different topic altogether.
Yes.
But my point is that then you need to bring in people. And when you bring people, you don't bring lousy people, like you bring top talents. And that's why Singapore loves to give scholarship all over the world, right?
Yeah.
So that when people come in, they're also human capital that is very useful, right? Yeah, it's very, very useful. And at the same time, you will notice that you have probably many friends who actually go and work in Singapore for the first 3 years. They'll tell you one day I'll be back.
Yes.
And after 5 years later, you call them, they say they already got a PR.
Yeah.
10 years later, they will tell you I'm selling everything in Malaysia because I'm going to be a Singaporean after this.
Yes.
There's a very simple reason, right? If you're already earning about like 4,000 to 6,000 ringgit, by 10 years, you're earning like say 15,000 Sing dollars. What makes you think you want to come back to Malaysia?
True.
Even if you come back to Malaysia, right, the same position, maybe you are going to get 20,000 Malaysian. Hey, you are still earning what? A fraction of what you're earning in Singapore?
Okay, how does the Singaporean's salary, right, actually progress?
Wow.
How different it is from Malaysia?
I would say that from what I've seen, of course, Singaporeans and my friends who are working in Singapore, please tell us as well. But from what I've read and what I've known and my interaction with my Singapore friends and stuff like that, generally, if you are someone who is in an MNC, your career progression is quite steady one if you can do work.
What do you mean by steady?
Steady as in you will slowly go up lah. And earning 10K in Singapore is not that uncommon, especially if you know how to work hard. But you see in Singapore, right, even if you earn about 8K to 9K like that, your life is actually quite steady one.
Yes.
Okay, now a lot of people now will probably say, hey, Peter, but lifestyle there is another story. We'll talk about that shortly. But let's talk about progression. There's one thing about Singapore also is the gateway to international.
What do you mean by gateway to international?
Okay. When you work in Singapore, you are working in the international hub.
Yes.
So our regional global office is always there. Okay. So usually you get a chance to go to Hong Kong, you get a chance to go to everywhere else in the world. That is like the door to go other places.
Do you mean like this company is like an international hub? You work there, you are allowed to go to different countries?
Yes, because you are managing international from Singapore itself.
Okay.
Like you see a lot of Malaysian company, their regional hub is in Singapore also. Like, okay, I report to my Singapore boss.
Yes.
That's how it works, man.
Yeah.
So Singapore is the Asia Pacific boss. So naturally, usually after that, when they deploy you, they can deploy you to other countries as well. So it is a bit of a gateway. Number two, the kind of company there. You have JP Morgan, you have Goldman Sachs, all the big companies. They have big offices there itself. Meta, TikTok, all these are there. So therefore, right, you get a very different kind of exposure. And naturally, if you go to Singapore today, you will notice that the people there are also very international. That's why if you talk to local Singaporean, right, and especially you talk to guys, right, there's this saying that many Singaporean girls end up marrying Ang Moh because they like Ang Moh. Because and Ang Mohs are there.
Who don't like Ang Moh?
Yeah. So it's like when you go there, today you go to Singapore, you will notice that there are many Singaporeans are actually Ang Moh.
Yeah.
Or either they are Chinese.
Yeah.
Some of them are international people, but today they are Singaporean. So basically, Singapore is really like a America of
the Asian.
Yeah, Asian version of America, right? Yeah, in that sense, right? So it's a very international hub. You get a very different exposure. So career projection in MNC is a whole different level.
Really? Okay, then that makes me think of another thing. If there's so many, based on what you share, it seems like Singapore has a lot of opportunity, right?
Yes.
But why Singaporeans are complaining that they can't find a job?
To put it in short, I think there is this saying, maybe Singaporeans and the Malaysian who work there will verify for us, right? They say Singaporeans love to complain lah. So let's give you an example. There was one day I was in a taxi, right? I love to talk to taxi uncle whenever I'm in Singapore because you get very good perspective on things, right? So I was in the taxi and then I talked to this uncle. I said I'm from Malaysia. And then the uncle started telling me, he said like, young man, now I drive taxi, your Singapore government not good lah, very very hard lah, very mafan. Then don't let me take out my CPF. So I'm forced to take out my CPF to do something with it. If not, I cannot take out. So I just take out and I buy a house with cash. Then I was like,
Wow.
I was like, oh, okay, uncle.
Uncle, your level is like this.
Then he's like, oh, I drive Grab. I get about like, nah, I show you not much of money. Then open is 80,000 Sing, right? 1 year. So I was like, okay, whatever, uncle. Then after he tell me like, oh, now I drive taxi on the evening. I go down there and I talk to my friend. I can only go down to the food court, down there. I'm like, oh, okay. Then the other uncle, right? Lucky King. Then I say, Singapore very good. I tell him. Then you know what he told me? He told me this. He say, young man, you don't understand. You're from Malaysia. You're from Malaysia. So when you want a better life, where do you go? You come to Singapore. You go to Australia. I'm a Singaporean. If I don't like Singapore, where else can I go? There is no other place that can give me a better thing than this, but it's not good enough. I got nowhere to go. I was like, uncle.
So
uncle,
they are complaining that
you are right. Actually, he's right. You like for us Malaysians, we want to go better, we can go Australia, everything is better.
Yeah.
Singapore is already damn good,
So it's like they are complaining, I'm very comfortable here already. Where else can I go?
No, that moment I understood one thing. You watch those Shaolin Kung Fu show, right? They say when you're at the top of the martial art world, you are very lonely. I understood his loneliness because you are already in a very, very good country. So now you're very lonely. Yeah. So, but jokes aside, that is to let you know lah. Okay, so the lesson of story here, next time we go to Singapore also, you talk to the taxi uncle lah. It's quite fun. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about lifestyle. Have you been to Singapore for holiday?
Yes, I went Singapore for concert.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. How often do you go to Singapore? Not
really though. I think the last time I went was in 2023.
Oh.
So it's like 3 years ago.
Okay.
And then before that, it was 2014.
Okay. So let me share with you. I go Singapore probably about twice a year.
Okay.
And not for holiday, but mostly for work.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll meet locals, do local stuff. And I can tell you this one thing, accommodation is very expensive.
Yes.
Yeah. But how expensive? It is like probably 1,000 Sing dollars for a room or something like that. Yeah, a room like if you want to stay there 1 month, right? And depend on where you stay and so on. So if you earn about 4K, that's 25% of your income. But you can also stay further away for cheaper.
Yeah.
Like you can get like 600 or something like that. And then they got all the interesting rules, right? Like you can only use the electricity at what time, the kind of
thing. Yeah, you're not allowed to cook in your room.
The kind of thing. They're very, very strict with that. So good and bad. But yes, accommodation does cost quite a bit. But is it like you're going to die? No. Because in Malaysia also, if you think about it, if I were to rent a room right in the city center of KL, it's going to cost me about 1,000 to 1,200 as well for a nicer apartment. And very, very near to city center. And my salary is still going to be about 4K plus, right?
Yeah.
So dollar about that. Now, I think what is interesting is in terms of their food, right? You can still get chicken rice, say, at about 450 to 5, depending on where you are. And of course, further away, you're looking at this kind of price. When you're right in the city center, again, it's going to be more expensive, right?
Yes.
So I have seen the range because of the work that I do. Sometimes I'm being brought to very like those further away place. And the good thing about Singapore is this, they're further away, it's not that far lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like brother, it's not that far, It's like yeah, we're here. Our LRT can go to Kajang, right? Yeah. That one is like what? Not that far, Like their Ulu is already there.
I think we can walk from like one end to another end of Singapore, right?
No, okay, like you can walk lah, but it's
don't know how long. I don't know how long it is.
So think about it, it's a very, very small place. No. And my point is this. If you look at the percentage, say you were to spend like 6 Sing dollar for chicken rice. Malaysia chicken rice is gonna be $9,
Is it still 9? I thought it's more expensive.
Our chicken rice is about like
9.
opposite here is about what? $8, $7.50, $8.
Okay.
Yeah. Singapore is like what? If you city center also about like maybe 6. Yeah, depending on what kind of place you go.
Yeah.
I have eaten chicken rice that's about $5 in Singapore. Yeah. And their fresh grad salary is like minimally 4K if you're Singaporean, right? Yeah. Somewhere about 5. Our median salary is 2,005. Right?
One is 5,000 Sing dollar, another one is 2,005.
Correct. And that's the reason why many of the lower level jobs in Johor, they go to Singapore because I'm going to earn also 2,000 plus in a factory, and come to KL, I'm going to earn 2,000 ringgit. So must as well, I earn 3x by traveling across. So that is the idea, right? So if you talk about dollar cost, it is actually very affordable in my opinion. Of course, if you want to go luxury in Singapore, it's another level.
How what do you mean by?
I mean, they have all the Michelin star restaurant, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's a whole different category altogether. So and you think about it, right? Okay, let's use iPhone as an example.
Okay.
How much does it cost to buy an iPhone here?
Unfortunately, I'm not an iPhone user.
Okay, why?
Because it's very expensive.
Because it's very expensive, right? Yeah, it's about, depending on what level you are, for a fresh grad, it's probably a 2 to 3 month salary.
Yeah.
Right? But you see, in Singapore, it's 1,000 plus.
So it's like 1/3 of their salary.
See?
Yeah.
The point is, when it comes to gadgets and everything all, now it's way cheaper.
Yes.
Now, car, on the other hand, they are very expensive.
Yeah.
There's one place in the world where you buy a car, you can still earn money in Singapore.
What do you mean?
Like, no joke.
What do you mean? Like, you buy a car, you can still earn money?
Because when you buy a car, you buy together is something called COE, and the COE price fluctuate time to time, right?
Yes.
And over the last few years, the COE price went up. So although your car depreciated in value, but COE price went up. So when they sold the car, they actually make money, some of the people.
I see.
Yeah, so Singapore is a weird place.
I thought you were going to say like, because those who actually bought a car is already rich. So
yes, there's another thing also.
Like
Singapore, usually if you can own a car, you're quite wealthy lah.
Yeah.
And yeah, but that's a whole different story. But my point is this, right? So you talk about cost of living in Singapore. It is actually quite okay because you look at milk. Milk is a what? $2. Here milk is like $7-8, like just for 1 liter. So these things, because they are commodities, commodity is calculated to a certain extent under US dollar pricing.
Yes.
So exchange rate matters. And that's why in Singapore, the cost of living there, in other words, you have a wider range of choice. You can go very cheap or you can go expensive. But Malaysia, generally, there's a baseline of how cheap it can be simply because of our currency is not the strongest of all.
Yeah.
Right? Like, for example, iPhone, computers, all this, right? Now, that's generally it that you have to look at it. So I would say that in terms of the ability to save money in Singapore, it is quite reasonable. And you think about it, remember we talked about our last episode about dating and car?
Yeah.
In Singapore, it's very normal that you can go dating without a car because everyone take train, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone take train. I think in Malaysia, it's going to look worse when you don't have a car. But there, you still acceptable. Yes, I'm pretty sure that you got a car is still a plus point. Yeah, but let's be honest. I think my fellow Singaporean friends, some of them have went into dating without a car. You try to ask Malaysian how many working adults go dating without a car.
I should ask my interns later.
Very rare. Even intern as a student got car to go dating already. True or not? Yeah, so I have to say that in terms of money, Singapore is extremely attractive. So, of course, I would say there's another better option, right? Which is you earn Singapore dollars and you stay in Malaysia. That is even better. Yeah, because it's even cheaper suddenly.
I think that's what most people do, right? Most Malaysians, they stay in Johor and then they woke up early morning to cross the border to go to work in
fact,
Singapore.
there are some Singaporeans now who stay in Johor and then go and work in Singapore also got. Yeah, and with the RTS opening, it's going to happen more and more. Now, we'll talk about all the good things about in Singapore, right? But what about the not so good things? Okay, since we talk about money, one of the costs that's really creeping into our expenses today that we forget about is actually cloud. Yes, you've probably done it where you go into your phone, you look through your storage and you realize it's quite full. And most of it, a bulk of it is in those videos and photos. But when you try to delete it, you feel sayang kan? Because those are all the memories that you really would love to keep. And just like everyone else, you sign up for your cloud, whether it's Google Cloud or iCloud. It probably starts from the lowest tier, 20 over ringgit a month, and slowly move up to 40 over ringgit. But here's the thing, the demand for space is just going to grow more and more, because over the next few years, you're going to accumulate more photos again, and you're going to increase your subscription to have more space. But actually, you don't have to. There is a better way, and one that can save you more money in the long run. This is the BeeStation of Synology, a private cloud storage at home. One plugin, connect to the internet, download the BeePhotos app on your phone. That's it. From then on, every photo and video you take automatically uploads and clears your phone storage. No more storage full, no more deleting memories, and now you can easily just browse your photos just like they are in your album. Not just that, you can also use it like Cloud Drive that works exactly like Google Drive on your browser, or you can back up directly from your computer or any other device. And here's the math. Synology BeeStation Plus one-time costs around 3,500 ringgit. Compare that to 42 ringgit 99 cent every month on Google Cloud or 44 ringgit 90 cent on iCloud. In less than 4 years' time, your BeeStation has fully paid for itself. And after that, you're saving 43 ringgit every single month, forever. On top of that, you also get an 8 TB of space. That's 4 times the 2 terabyte that you get paying monthly on Google or iCloud. And you get full privacy. Your data stays at home, connecting to all your devices. I've also heard from people who are using Synology. Apparently, it never breaks down, and they've been using it for more than 10 years. It's still running until today. So if you want to know how it works, link is in the description below. Now, back to what we're watching.
What do you mean by the not so good thing? Right now, I can only see all the good things.
You can only see all the good things,
yeah,
right?
I mean, like, everything is, the salary times 3, the food is cheap, just the rent is a little bit expensive lah.
My personal thought is, when I talk to many of my Singaporean friends also, I notice is one thing, it is more stressful. I think in Singapore, what I notice is people there, because they are so hardworking, you are forced to be hardworking even if you don't want to be hardworking. So here, you can still snake, Yeah, you can still snake. And because our people generally are more chill, right? So even when you chill, you won't suddenly get so left behind. Okay, so you think about it, right? Like the AI, you do notice now we're using more and more AI.
Yes.
But you notice this one thing, right? Every day when you learn up a new skill, your skill is already a little bit outdated.
Yeah.
Do you notice that?
Exactly.
And it gets very, very tired.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what I'm doing, now, like I'm trying to implement stuff. But by the time I implement, right, it's already a little bit old. Okay, Singapore is like that.
Meaning like they constantly feeling like they need to improve.
Yes.
And if they don't do it now, they will be late.
Yes.
They will be behind.
Yes. So there's this internal pressure as a Singaporean where you need to be very good. You need to be very, very good. Now, and you can't slow down because the people around you are not slowing down. So you can't slow down. Now, let me tell you how it really is, right? Now, I never understood how it really felt until I was there for work and hang out with
your Singaporean
not
friend.
holiday, really go for events, right? And work. I remember I went for a few networking events. This is how people introduce themselves. Hi, my name is Joseph. I am a VP of this company. Then you talk to the other person, right? Random, you meet them, they basically talk like that. Hi, I'm a who and who in this company, what do I do, and what kind of position I am in. Now, even in business, they're like, hi, I run this company and how much is the value of my company? I never ask also, they will tell me,
What's the reason?
You see, you thought you're in a business networking event.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how it worked, right? Then I met someone who brought their kids. And when their kids introduce themselves, hi, my name is Emily. I am from which school, and this is my co-curriculum, and this is the subject that I take, and I'm a president of what club. I'm like, what on earth? I didn't ask you any of this, right?
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused. Why you're doing
confused,
that?
Right?
Yeah.
And my Singapore friend said it's very normal. And that moment, I realized one thing, right? Your identity is hung upon your achievement.
I see.
It is just so natural that they don't even realize that. It is natural.
Like the fact that you say, even the kids will say, I'm in what school, I'm in what class. I mean, what co-curricular?
Precisely.
I'm the president of this.
Of course, I bet there are some who don't behave like that, right?
Okay.
But it is normal. In the Malaysian context, if we walk out to an event, right, and someone tell me that we think the guy is weird, am I right?
Yeah.
Hey, put it this way, I've met so many billionaires in Malaysia, right? CEO company. You say, hey, hi, what do you do? The guy will just say, oh, hi, my name is Joseph. I run a company.
Yeah.
Then you're like, what company do you do? They say, we sell milk. Then you're like, oh, what milk? This brand. They're like, wow, okay. Yeah, you actually are one of the biggest milk supplier in Malaysia, right?
Yeah.
And the guy also like don't really want to acknowledge that he's part of it. We are still very paiseh.
Yeah.
They are not.
I think Malaysians generally we are very paiseh and we don't really like put our achievement up front and tell people, hey, we achieved this.
So while I can't say that our identity is not hang on achievement, we still do as well. But it's just that theirs is even more straightforward.
Like it kind of like showing that if let's say they don't have this achievement, I'm nothing.
Correct. So I have a few friends. I have one friend specifically. He told me that when he came to Malaysia, when he can't tell people what he does, he feel like he lost himself. He don't really know who he is. And I think that's a very common problem in Singapore, where at the moment your career don't do well, you feel you're not worth it. And if you actually watch even Woke Salaryman, all this, when they write about comics, as a student as well, if you're a top achiever and you come out work, you don't do that well, you feel very, very lost. I would say this is also common in Malaysia, but there is even more prominent. It is even more prominent. Yeah, so I can imagine the stress there. And imagine if you're already a high achiever in Malaysia, you go there, there's even more high achiever. High achiever is a normal thing. It's normal.
It's normal.
Put it this way, the way you and I work, we are just normal.
We go there, we are like the bottom of the food chain. We need to like
here you're A player, but maybe you go there, right? You are like B player only.
Wow.
Yeah, because A player there's S player, different level. It's like
do they sleep?
Yeah, it's like you go to US, right? You go to US, you all talk about basketball, right? There's a whole different class, right? Like there's world class.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not professional, it's world class, right?
Oh.
So I think that is Singapore for you, right? So I think there's this sense of like you really, 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 really need to do well.
Yeah.
And that kind of pressure can be very, very tiring.
Besides tiring, right? I'm actually thinking another thing. We working there as an adult is fine when we don't have a family, right? But when you work there and you have a family and your kids are studying there, and now imagine the kids are experiencing that. So
you are right? When it comes to children, it can be very stressful because imagine your children also has the same, will definitely have the same mentality. And in Singapore, there's this thing, right, that again, depending on different parents, right? I think Malaysia also has it. There's this whole idea that your school will determine your future.
What do you mean by your school determine your future? Okay,
if you go into a good school, your future is set. For example, certain schools, they are top schools. Then those top school, you go in there, your chance of getting a scholarship is higher. Yeah, everything is higher. And even, right, apparently unspoken rule is that like your degree will also determine your pay grade. Which uni you come from will determine like your career track. All this kind of stuff.
I see.
Yeah, there's a... So the Singapore society, to a certain extent, it's a very structured world.
Yes.
It's like, it's structured. So if you are the kind of person who can follow a system, you'll try very well. And it is done in such a way, right, where it is difficult to be poor in Singapore, I can tell you that. They are poor in Singapore, but it's not poor like Malaysia. Yeah, but it's difficult to be poor, and as long as you're willing to put in effort, you will do quite well. What school you will be entering will decide your future, right? So basically, if let's say when you're young, you didn't do well, your future is being decided, right? To a certain extent, you're screwed. But if let's say... Okay, but again, let me, before everyone hate on me, right? Again, this is like the opinion on when I talk to local Singaporeans, and definitely not all local Singaporeans, and I'm only talking to my kind of friends, right? Who are living in Singapore, and these are some of the things that they share. Okay. But there's a benefit of that. Later, I'll also share with you why I think there's an opportunity there as well. Yes. And you're right. And that's why imagine if your children brought up in that kind of environment where pretty much around you, the influence or many of the voices will tell you like, okay, if you go to a certain school, you are determined in this manner, your career is this manner, and so on. I think it's quite a high pressure society lah.
Yeah. Do you have Singaporean friends who say like, who plan to actually move to Malaysia to stay here and also like let their kids to study here?
So many Singaporean friends will tell me that.
Really?
But it's very hard because they don't dare move here. Because when I look at Malaysia, some of the situation we are in and so on, and definitely in terms of earning power, right?
Yeah.
You can't have that kind of earning power. So generally, I do have a bunch of like Singaporean friends here. They are retired. Then they retire here.
I see. Wait, Peter, you're not that old, and your friends are retired. How old are they?
They're like 50 plus, 60 plus.
Okay,
Because I play golf, right? Then like so I meet a new friend, and then they tell me they're living here because golf is so much cheaper, and stuff like that. And their children is already working, so then they come here lah. And usually they run business in Singapore.
I see.
And then they already pass on the business to their kids and so on, and now they're here. Yeah, and of course they are living like a king, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and because here allows them to buy more cars, and the cars are cheap for them here.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, we talk a lot about, I would say, things that we think it is good to stay or work in Singapore. Okay, but how about the good things in Malaysia?
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what I think. I think this is another consideration that you want to look at. In Malaysia, the good thing is your competition is a little bit lower. Because we got a wider range of people, our general culture is also a bit more laid back. So what happened is that you just need to work hard. You will usually shine quite well among everyone. Because imagine if most of the people are not thinking about working hard. You work hard. You're already top.
Yeah.
You're already top 10%. But in Singapore, right, everyone work hard. So you can't just work hard, you need to be smart. Here, you work hard, you're not smart. Also, you'll be quite appreciated, because you're willing to work hard. Then that's really much about it, right? So I would say that Malaysia offers a lot more opportunity. Now, number two, the cost of starting a business here is way lower. So whenever you see an opportunity to start a business, right? Malaysia, you can experiment and you can start. For example, right, I can just say I want to sell nasi lemak. I can go downstairs and just open a table and sell. Singapore, you don't expect you're able to do that, man. That's not going to happen.
When you say cost, like how big is the difference?
Okay, in Singapore, everything got rule, ma. So you can't go roadside and open a table and sell nasi lemak, ma.
So are you saying Malaysia we don't have
Malaysia,
rules?
we can. Hey, you can do that in Malaysia.
Kind of like if you are not being caught, then it should be no problem.
Correct. And these are the free hand in Malaysia that allow you to do all these kind of things. We have friends who actually build their own product and sell online here. In Singapore, it's going to be still okay, but it's harder as well. When you hire people, it's more expensive.
Oh, yes.
All these kind of things add together. Malaysia offer a whole unique experience and opportunities that in Singapore will not offer you.
You make me think of one opportunity that I think Singaporean can actually take. Imagine Singaporean come here, open business, and hire all the Malaysians.
Yes, and that is something that a lot of people want to see that happen. And number two, you think about it here, because of that, right? If money is not your number one priority, if you are thinking about having a balanced life, you can actually work hard, and then after that, sometimes take a break and chill a little bit, and still have that a little bit of a work-life balance kind of thing. Yeah, but there, you work-life balance a little bit, someone else is going to take over you. You get what I mean? That's why you notice Singapore, when they go for holiday, they really go for holiday. They will suddenly take like 2 weeks off, right? And then they go China or go like Norway or something. Also because for them it's cheap lah. They buy a ticket, it's like what, a few hundred. Yeah, we buy a ticket, a few thousand, right?
Yes.
So that's another story.
Do they have more annual leave?
No.
Oh, same ah.
Yeah. We have the most holiday in the world. Do you know that if you calculate Malaysia holidays, actually about 2 months holiday?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So it's also this kind of inefficiency in Malaysia that kind of help us to have a more balanced life.
Yeah, I do see Singaporeans, like I see from news that some Singaporeans, they will just work for let's say 3 years and they will immediately quit their job and they go for holiday for like 1 year. So they spend their savings and then by the time they realize, okay, I need a job, then they will find a job.
Yeah. Americans also do that, Germany also, some of them, they do these kind of things. And so, I think it's just a very different world. So I wouldn't say that one country is better than the other. But I guess our point here is this, right? When we talk about do you want to work in Singapore or Malaysia, you also want to ask yourself, what's the lifestyle do you want? If you want to raise your family, which environment do you want to raise your family in? Now, the good side about Malaysia is this. If you are hardworking and you know how to make money, you will still get similar opportunity in Singapore. For example, quality of education. You rich enough, you can send your kid to good school also, right?
Yeah.
And we do have some good school, right? Yeah, of course, Singapore, good school is available everywhere, right? And the cost of getting children in Singapore is actually, I would argue, lower.
What do you mean lower? You mean the cost is lower?
Because they have enough government subsidized childcare.
Government subsidized childcare?
Yes. Like Malaysia, how often do you hear your friends sent to a government subsidized childcare? No, right?
No.
You send to private daycare, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also send to private daycare.
What do you mean by government subsidized childcare?
So they have some local childcare centers that is part of the government's...
So government subsidized...
Like government school like that. So then they only pay like 400 or something like that.
So it's way cheaper.
Yeah, because they are really encouraging their people to get babies. But people are not getting babies. So just... Yeah, you can never help someone get a baby. Like, this way.
What do you mean I cannot help someone
you can't reverse that.
Baby?
There's no policy who can reverse that. Nonetheless, in Malaysia, we are starting to step into that as well anyway. Cost of getting a kid is going to be more expensive. Because we have less government support for getting kids. They have more. Yeah. And by the way, buying house there is not that expensive in Singapore. If you go further away, you don't think about city centre, some property is only about 400 plus $400
plus $. So they can actually buy a house.
500 also got lah.
They can buy a house very easily then, because their salary is also very high.
Correct. Okay, but you can only have one. Yes, Malaysia can accumulate.
So they only limit one.
They have a limit lah. You want more, you have to buy private. And private is going to be millions.
Also, the one that you were saying, like they can only buy one is the government one.
Yeah, and their government property is actually quite nice one. Yeah, and it's quite community design and stuff like that, right? So anyway, to cut a long story short, I personally, you started with why you choose to stay in Malaysia. Maybe I will end with why I choose to stay in Malaysia.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, staying in Malaysia is an emotional decision. It is not so much of a financial decision. Yeah. And simply because I love my country, right? Yeah, and I still love what we have. Maybe we have this underdog mentality that stay long enough, maybe we can beat the system, that kind of thing, right?
I think we both are pretty similar because the reason we stay in Malaysia also because we hope that one day with our effort we will change something in the country, right?
Yeah. And I guess for me, money is not everything lah.
Yes.
I think that there are certain things money cannot buy, but again, I'm not so ignorant to say that money, I can just live without money. No, I'm very practical. I need money, okay? But I have this picture of how much is enough. Because I've also seen people make a lot of money and they're not happy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that kind. And again, for some people, it could be very happy. But just that, and I don't know whether if I move to Singapore, am I going to be happy?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I could be happier also. Because actually, truly, the last few times I went there, I enjoyed it. And I think to a certain extent, many of my Singaporean friends tell me, actually, I work more like a Singaporean. They told me I fit quite well.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And then, because also I'm very straightforward, Singaporeans don't waste time on.
Yeah.
You know, when we network, right, we were like, hello, how are you doing, your children, everything.
How's
Singaporeans
the traffic?
don't do that.
I know.
They don't do that. Just straight away go to the point. Got business, no business, let's talk. Later only we talk nonsense.
I think it'll be hard for Malaysian because we always like a lot of things to be
and I am like that, That's why people say I'm very aggressive in Malaysia. So maybe actually I'll do quite well in Singapore, right? Maybe my character fits Singapore. But I guess my point that I want to say is, again, this one thing, right? I think there's always opportunity wherever you go. And maybe I'll draw back the quote from Catherine, right? If you're a diamond, you will shine everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we always think like the grass is always greener on the other side.
That's right.
But is it true?
Yeah. So hopefully, I hope somewhere or another, we help you make a smarter decision. And I have to say deep down in my heart, I hope the smarter decision is you stay in Malaysia. Although when I do the calculation, I know practically to a certain extent that makes some sense. But if you're willing to take some risks and do business in Malaysia, or like think about a different kind of career advancement, maybe here can offer you a better opportunity as well. Yeah. So I don't know why this became so emotional, but yeah. That's it. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this episode. If you like this topic, hit the like and subscribe, and also share it with your friends, right, who are thinking about going to Singapore. Fun fact, I know I've done a few videos about Malaysia versus Singapore, and what happened was when I went to Singapore, there were a couple of Malaysians there actually came up to me and say, because I saw your video, that's why I came to Singapore.
Oh, really?
Then I'm like, damn.
Let us know if you want to find out more. The purpose of the video is for you to stay back in Malaysia. But yeah, okay, never mind. Tell us in the comment as well what you think. See you guys.